This is Diana Hart from Poplar Village Gardens and also from On Broadway Daycare, and I am standing on the playground right now in an area that we had designated to plant some elderberry bushes, and we were able to do that on Good Friday. And I wanted to talk a little bit about when you plant things that you want to live in areas where children go, and what kind of things that we do to try and teach them about being careful with the plants and allowing the plants to grow. One of those is that we allow them to help care for the plant by providing water and all of that. And you'll see here in this particular area, we've got 3 elderberry bushes that we put in, and that's and we planted those. We talked a little bit about how this is their new home and we need to be respectful. A lot of times I will say stop at the black line, and then we will talk to them and I say, you know, you probably don't want to touch them. You probably don't want to pick the leaves off. You probably don't want to break off the branches, but what you can do is you can talk to them and you can offer them nice words of encouragement, like, hello, new elderberry bush. Welcome to our playground. You are looking so happy today. I hope you like it here. And just, we do that, and we're probably going to be doing that every time that we come outside to play. We will stop and talk to the elderberry trees so that we can really start to set a boundary that will allow the trees to take root and grow. And I have no doubt that if they are given the opportunity, they will be able to hold their own in this environment, regardless of what the kids might do in the future. One of the ways that I like to share the excitement of gardening and being in nature is to take the children through walks to look at the things that are happening in the garden at various times of year. And I'm standing right here where I planted 3 cup plants a couple of years ago. We had several along the row here last year, but what I am noticing already, and we were looking at them, is there is like some large clusters of cup plants around the area where each of them are. And not only that, but it has drifted its way out towards the driveway. So it is doing what I intended in providing a screen for our composting area. And I was showing that to the children today, how the plant itself has found a way to travel from the place where it originally was to other places in the yard. I'm standing out here in our guild, and what we did this spring is we had a bunch of free mulch, so we got someone to come in and basically mulch all of our guild areas, so I can see the pathways clearly. We also, once we had this laid down, it'll give us a chance to get something started over here before the weeds start to grow in. So we'll be able to tell the difference between the food plants and the weeds. The other thing that this is done, or that we did, was on our volunteer work day, we took and planted a bunch of greens, beets, radishes, things that would have a chance to sprout and come up before the growing season really starts. So we should have a pretty good harvest out here. When we came out to the guild today with the children, I was looking for evidence of things coming alive in the spring and the different things that are growing here. And that always excites me. It gives me a lot of hope for the garden. We can see, I talked a little bit about the foraging opportunities. So we have quite a few dandelion greens. Those are best eaten. when they do not have blossoms on them. But our yarrow is doing very well. It's just got a really nice, fun, feathery look to it that I really like, and it's doing a really nice job in the guild because it's going to take over in places where we have other plants that we do not want to grow here. Our loganberry bush is starting to get some leaves, and our black currant bushes are some of the first to fruit, and those are all developing a really nice leaf system. This is a rhubarb plant. We have a total of 3 or 4 of them out here, and this one I think we'll be able to have a small harvest from this year, as well as some of the other plants that are out here. And then this is our fruit tree grower's friend. This is comfrey. This will grow and take over. You can cut it and it will come back. It brings nutrients to the top of the soil, so it helps the trees grow. And then of course our walking onions are in here. The other thing that we've got that's really doing well, I believe that this is either valerian or lovage. Might be lovage. Lovage is a relative of celery, and can be eaten, and valerian is medicinal. Down here, this is our 2nd year kale. This is what came up last year. We've got to watch it very closely and get our harvest before it goes to seed, because it will go to seed very quickly. The other thing that I wanted to check for that I haven't really seen a lot of yet is some of our natives that we have planted in here, and it may be that there are not a lot of them up yet. But for instance, you can see this. We put a bunch of this is plantain, the narrow leaf variety, I believe. And that's just another foraging opportunity for foraging. Here, I know what we saw over here. This, I think, is our meadow rue. This had an absolutely lovely, the stalk comes up and it has the most beautiful flower. It's really quite nice. And then over here, the other thing I noticed was that we are getting our fennel. The fennel is coming up. I do not know what this plant, oh, that's an onion. So we've got a lot of the fennel is coming up. The yarrow is everywhere. The butterflies are going to be really happy with the fennel and the parsley because they particularly like that. I came out here also to check up a little bit on this planting with the red and white clover. We basically planted crimson clover and ordinary white clover, and I'm looking underneath this and you can see that there are just tons of little leaves underneath this this straw mat. So it is actually doing quite well, and the clover that we've planted in the rest of the areas it comes up very nice and lush early in the spring, gives a lot of good green color, so it's going to be quite beautiful.